Hello, welcome to another ride where we get lost and yet we don't get lost. We find our way back to Borwick. We're going to start the ride on the far right hand side of the map here, and that's at Newton. And we're going to take a left at Newton and we're going to ride over towards the Docker route where we get a wee bit lost because I think all the signs have been turned but they haven't. Anyway, here's the ride just coming up now. And here we are, we're going to take this left hand turn. Newton is just ahead of us. We're not going to go into the village, we're going to take a left. That's it. And off we go. Now this is definitely the road less travelled. There's hardly any traffic on it at all. Just the occasional parked car. And we will see probably why a bit later on the ride, because, well, I won't spoil the fun. Now this road is supposed to lead to Docker, and there's it was actually signposted to the holiday park at Docker apparently, tucked away somewhere, you can't actually see it. But it also leads to, well, I think it was called Docker Farm, where you could go and see animals. It's quite a popular spot to take children. Whether you come this route or not, I don't know. I expect so. Probably the easiest. Anyway, what I was going to say was I've actually taken a real circuitous route to get here because I've been through Borwick, or Borwick. Now I'm from the south of England and we say things that spell B-O-R-W-I-C-K or similar as Borwick. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It might be wrong. Yes, so if I've gone through Borwick and then I came down onto the B road, which isn't one I like much. It's the B6254. And I think that over to the right there, that's a farm which is called Outfield Farm. And we're going to head over the railway soon. That's the railway that runs from Carnforth over to Leeds, which we've spoken about many a time. It's quite open up here, isn't it? Quite an open landscape. Yes. So anyway, I came along the B road towards Kirby Lonsdale from over Kellett. That tree looks a bit done for. Obviously, get some high winds up here. It's so open, isn't it? I never intended to come as far as this. I thought I'd just pop out. I had about 20 miles to do before the odometer on the speedometer clocked up 1,000 miles. I thought I'd just pop out. It's not too sunny. I'll just pop out for a little run and get that to knock over to 1,000 miles. Now I don't know why I wanted that. Now this is a decision I've got to make. It got to here and I thought, is that signpost right? It looks like it's swung round with the wind. Oh dear. Decisions, no map. What do you do? I'll go straight on. Right or wrong? Yeah, we're going straight on along the smaller road. I don't quite why I made that decision, but I did, and as it turned out, it was for the best. Wow, could have taken the other route, couldn't I? Taken me to probably Kirby Lonsdale. Let me have a look on the map. Where would that have taken me? Yeah, that would have taken me up over towards Docker Way. Would have got even more lost. Always take a map with you, or have one of these smartphones with Google Maps on it, as many of you do. And here's the railway. We're just going to pop over that. There we go. Always on bends, aren't they? Why do they do that? There must be a reason. Now this is where we had a bit of trouble, as you can see. There's a house blocking the way on the left hand side there. Oh dear, yes, I was intending to go left, but as it happened, that wouldn't have been the right way. If I'd gone left, I'd have taken me back onto the B road to Arkholm. So I had to go right, which took me along a more interesting route anyway. Well, there's not going to be much traffic coming along here, is there? Not with that stuck in the way. That's probably headed off for the Docker Holiday Home Park. Can you imagine having to lug that thing around these little lanes? That is called Brown Edge. Place there. Railway is on our right, somewhere as yet, but we do get closer to it. The farmstead. Got in those barns. This does feel a bit in the back of beyond, doesn't it? Especially if you're riding along and you think to yourself, I don't actually know where I'm going. A few little bits of habitation here and there. Some nice trees. And very green. Now we're going to come up to a junction, and I decide to turn left, signposted Borwick. If I'd gone right, it would have taken me to Keirholm, which would have been a really interesting ride, because that would have taken me up onto the Hutton Roof Road, as I call it, which runs from Burston in Kendal up over to Kirby Lonsdale, and that little road, as you'll see when we reach the junction, going through Keirholm, really does take some twisty bits and heads off to some really up some steep bits. And here it is. So yes, right to Keirholm, which I didn't know really where that would have taken me. Oh, Borwick, I said. Really? Is it left? Yes, it is. We're going to go left. Anyway, the railway is now quite close to the road. It's just over on the right hand side. It runs through a cutting, so we can't see it. It's a field away, but we do cross the railway line again just a bit further along here when we turn off round to the right, and at that junction, that was another point I thought, oh blimey, really? Borwick right? arc home left. Can that be right? It's a funny feeling just following signposts. You think, well, they've been swung around. What it was like during the Second World War when they took all the signposts in, I've no idea. Must have been difficult, to say the least. Oh yes, to make this ride about just over 12 minutes long, I decided, rather than take you back through Borwick, which you've seen before, I thought, no, we'll stop the ride just before we reach Borwick. But I thought this was quite a nice bit of cow dung. No, I thought it might have been horse dung actually in the road there. Far from horse and cow muck on these rides. Very shortly we'll be reaching that road junction, and there'll be a bit more decision making. Left or right, we say. Yep, here's our junction. And there were some signs up there on the left hand side. And we've decided to go to the right. And the railway, we're just going to cross the railway very shortly. Is right on a bend. Now why? Why are they always on a bend? There must be a reason for that. And our ride will shortly be finishing, so I say thank you for watching and hope we get lost somewhere again. Au revoir.